Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. Well, on the back of the West Ham bid for Harry Maguire, £30 million, talks going on, replacement for Harry. Pavard from Bayern Munich, Todibo from Nice. What's your first thoughts on Harry Maguire though, Webby?
Just think it's a fair price, you know. Didn't like what you heard over in Dublin Saturday and bits in America booing a player. You know, it's just not worked out for me, Tony, full stop. You know, I think we got our pants pulled down by paying 80 million. First couple of years I thought it was all right. Then the trouble he had when he was over, it was in Greece. And it just seems to have gone downhill from him from there. And any little mistake was highlighted and he got sent off playing for England. And then a couple of own goals and he lost his place and he captured. I think once he sort of captured himself, it was end of the day for me. You know, I wish him well, you know. Wish it would have worked out here for him, but it never. There's been other players in what's happened the same, you know. So if it does happen, I think 30 million, I'd like to squeeze 40 out of him, but I'll take 30 because United are normally bobbing selling players.
Yeah.
Regarding Pavard, top player, but is he just trying to get a new contract at Munich? He's got a year left.
You think so?
You never know, you know. He played a lot of games at right back, you know. That's one thing we don't really need. We got two decent enough, you know. Adam Wan-Bissaka was great last year when we all thought he had no career left at United. Delo's Delo, you know what I mean? He's brilliant. Some games he's poor the next. But we was talking off air there, Tony. We need 4-class centre-halves now. Is Johnny Evans going to get a contract? You know, he looks decent enough for what I've seen in pre-season. He'll be happy to stay on the bench. You know, you need 4. With Varane's injury situation, he's in 1 out, 2, plays 3 out, 4. You know, Martinez will probably play with 1 leg if he'd asked him to play. Then you got Victor. So you need that 4. You know, there's Bailly's going off to Saudi Arabia. He's joining the gravy train. So I don't know, Tony, but we need that 4th one. And the last one you mentioned, Tony, I've not got a Scooby-Doo. Not got a clue about it. Never seen him play. Never seen him play.
Fair
you
enough.
Out there, these transfer people who know everything and all these players, let us know because I have not got a clue. What he looks like, if he's right foot, left footed, he's got a skinhead, he's got a curly perm, he's got hair like you used to have in the 70s. I've not got a clue, Tony. So you let us know about him. But there you go, mate.
Todibo, he's been around, coming from Nice, Barca.
So have we. We've been around, haven't we?
Yeah, Benfica he's played for. He's 23. And as you say, the two of us here, and I'll repeat what Webby said, we haven't got a Scooby-Doo about him. So anyone out there, just feed us the information. That'd be great.
So doesn't it look, no, obviously what you said, right, you're right, he's 23, but he's had more clubs than Peter Stringfellow and he's had contracts ripped up. Doesn't that say he's a bit of an education?
For a young lad?
For a young lad, yeah. You know, you start off at Barcelona, so you got to have something about you to start off there. But Nice, Benfica, was it somewhere in Russia? He's gone back to these.
Yeah.
They only paid €8.5 million. That's all we know about him. So, like you said, let us know what you think on there because we're clueless about it.
Doesn't seem be the right target based on his history, where he's been, the price he's been sold for. So to me, I think that just might be reports, not concrete. Doesn't sound right for me, that. But Pavard, 8 trophies, Webby. He's won a World Cup. He's won a Champions League. He's done well in his career. He's 27. Could be the right fit to come to Man United. Certainly not a Johnny Evans type, Webby.
No, you're right, but I just think that are we getting these players who are just coming for the money? You know, we've been down that road plenty of times, you know.
Yeah.
You look at Cavani, people like that just come and played when they fancied it. And I'm so happy with the signings we've made so far this year that it's players who want to play for the club. Now, if he comes out and says well, if he can come out and say he wants to play for the club, but he might be on a better contract than when he was getting over in Munich. But I think he's a good player, so, you know, to play at Munich for that long, you know, who are the best team in Germany.
He's done well in his career. You know,
yeah, he's done well.
So, you know.
But could he be using United as that point to get a new contract?
Well, we've seen that loads of times, haven't we? And especially at this time of the year, you do get things like this going on. But there is talks going on, so we'll just have to sit and wait. But good squad player. I don't think he'll start, but will he be prepared to sit in the squad? A man who's achieved as much as he had, Webby. I don't, like you say, you might be right that he is using these negotiations.
That's why I just mentioned Johnny Evans, sorry, Tug, that he could come on and do a job for 10, 15 minutes now and again and wouldn't moan about being on the bench. You know, you're going to get a lot of players like him. He could come and say, I want to start. You know, you look at Rojo when he left the club and he was kicking off because Harry Maguire was starting front, and apparently Ollie said, we've got to play him because he's our club captain.
Yeah.
and we paid 80 million for him. But I'm not whether you paid 2 million or 22. If you're good enough, you play.
Yeah, but Webby, I've gone on about Johnny Evans. Like, we're going backwards here if we're signing 35-year-old players.
No, I totally understand that. So I'm just thinking about people who might be happy to sit on the bench and play the odd game and won't moan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough. It's an opinion. Now, looking at transfers, we've mentioned Harry Maguire at the beginning there, £30 million bid. Strong talk, Webby, of 45 million United want for Scott McTominay, as though that's
and
the
rightly
bid.
so, Tom.
Yeah, but that's the bid. If you're going to bid West Ham, because that's the team everyone seems to be talking about. But Eric Ten Hag likes Scott McTominay. Ten Hag wants him in the squad, doesn't want to let him go. Would £45 million really be enough to get him out, Webby?
Well, if it looks that way, I look at Scott and he'll do you the job. What's the big difference between Scott McTominay and Declan Rice? I don't see that much difference. If you're at a club, and that's no disrespect to West Ham, and you're Scott McTominay, you're going to stand out. Like Declan Rice, would he stand out as much at West Ham than he would at Arsenal or Man United? He's surrounded by better players. So let's wait and see. I'd like Scott to stay.
Eric values him though.
But 45 million, I think, is a fair price. So we skin. So I think we might have to take it. But I won't be disappointed if come the start of the season or with transfer window shuts that Scott's delayed and Fred is the more likely one to go. I know you got a bit of news on the Fred situation.
€15 million, the offer. And then we talk about Donny van der Beek. Looks as though he might be going out on loan with a possible sale at the end of it. But the money, Webby, Eric Ten Hag's being told that he can't buy anyone until these players are actually sold.
Right, so
what's the position?
Fred 15 million, happy with that. He's in last year of his contract, could walk for nothing. There's 15 million.
Yeah.
The one what's got me told, which has gone very quiet, is the Dean Henderson to Forest.
Yeah,
they was talking 30, maybe 40 million for that. Now they've gone and signed the Arsenal goalkeeper. It looks like he's going to make his debut on Saturday for Forest at Arsenal.
Yeah.
So that's gone very quiet because I don't think he's got a future here. He didn't help with his interview he made last year. And to be honest, Joe, we've spoken here when he come into the team to replace De Gea. I'll never forget the game here against Liverpool. Some of the goals he let in that night, you won't see that on Wivenshaw Park. The goalkeeper, the positioning, it was embarrassing. When he's gone to Forest, he's not pulled up any trees. I think he saved the penalty and went sliding like he'd won the World Cup. And then he got injured and he brought the kid in from Paris Saint-Germain. Goalkeeper who's obviously gone back or gone wherever. So there's another 30 million, which, there's no point having him at the club if he's not going to be starting or being on the bench, then. So there's 45 million if we got 30 for him. Then, the one thing I don't like, so what you just mentioned there, is the Van der Beek. How many teams get players on loan and they say, well, buy me, and then they're thrown back to you?
Yeah, well, you just had that with Bailly, didn't you, with Marseille? And he's just walked away.
Yeah.
But you've just mentioned David De Gea there. Courtois at Real Madrid, Webby, this is unreal. I've just heard it before. It looks as though like this conversation's going on with David De Gea might be starting for Real Madrid, signing for them. That's the way of the world with these goalkeepers, though. And with Dean Henderson, right? It is a funny one, Webby. We could be stuck with him.
Yeah, stuck with a player who really wants to be here, but knows you're not going to get his chance. Because obviously, Eric probably doesn't fancy him. You just got to play there on big wages. He's not going to play. A couple of years down the line, all England walks away for nothing. Forest wanted him, but
weird, isn't it?
Forest have proved that they're not going to be messed about. They've got outside the Arsenal. They might still get Henderson. They might still buy him, but just find it strange.
Time's running out now.
You're right, so time's running out before the window's shut, and we've got a player sat here who's not going to play reserve games, not going to get in the first team, not even going to get on the bench because Tom Heaton seems to be that number 2.
Yeah.
And it's waste, so let's see him. De Gea, how mad would that be if he signs for that after the fax machine and the battery, the plug going and the electric going, no one had 50p for the meter, and he ends up there. But whoever gets him, so we're getting a top-class keeper. I've said that all along.
Yeah, they get a good keeper. Now, the funny thing, what's going on here today, Harry Kane, been announced that Tottenham have accepted a bid for him. With the add-ons and all that, I think it works out total £95 million. That's with the add-ons. Now, the bid's in. Do you think a cheeky bid could go in from United? Regardless of United having the money or not, we're not accountants here, Webby, right? We're football fans. looking at it, do you think United could go in the next 24 hours for a bid? Because Harry Kane's got to make his mind up soon.
I think Harry Kane would like United to bid. One, he don't have to move out of the country, and I'm not saying that's a bad place to live in Germany. His wife's ready to drop the 4th kid. Does she really want to be going over to Germany? She probably won't be able to fly now, so he won't be there for the birth. You know, I'd love United to put a bid in for him. So, you know, because with Harry Kane, we get closer to City and Arsenal all day long. There's 30 goals there. One thing I don't get is that Harry Kane, if he stays in this country, whether it's Spurs or wherever, Chelsea or City, he's going for Alan Shearer's record. But will it be one of them with Harry Kane breaks the Premiership goal scoring record but doesn't win a trophy? He goes to Munich, he wins the Bundesliga probably the next 4 to 5 years. Then does he come back at 34 and try to break Shearer's record? God knows, but so it'd be absolutely mint if we went to sneak. Harry Kane might turn around and say to Spurs, I'm not going there. You might have accepted the bid, but I'm not going. I'm going to have another 12 months here and leave for nothing.
Yeah.
And Daniel Levy, his head would fall off.
Yeah, but in the way football is now, it's like you don't put a bid in until you've spoken to the player, whereas you and I, growing up, it was always the other way round. Whereas now it's acceptable to speak to the player. So I can't really, from my opinion, I can't see this not going through because Harry Kane must be accepting what's coming.
Yeah, you know, Bayern Munich is one of the biggest clubs in Europe, if not the world, you know what I mean? The record speaks for itself. But if you have a choice to stay in your own country, chance of winning trophies, chance to beat that record, but will he go down as Harry Kane, the Premiership all-scoring goal scorer, but never won a bowl of soup?
United have got the option. They could go in.
Go in and bid 100 million now, Joe. Borrow a bit of money off you. And we won't be far short of that. Go in and bid him and go for it, and then let's see what Spurs say, because Spurs have proved now that they're selling when they were saying up till today, so no sale.
Yeah, well.
You know, so let's wait and see, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it, so?
Oh, it would be nice. Now, without Harry Kane conversation being on the pitch for Man United, great if we get him. Thoughts on the current squad, Webby? Is it good enough? Is it shaping up right to challenge for trophies, for challenging for the league? Is there any additions you need? How do you see? What are your thoughts, Webby?
I think we're a bit short still, especially up front, you know.
Yeah.
You can't rely on Anthony Martial, unfortunately. I think Marcus's record last year was free kick, you know. If he didn't score those goals, we come 10th, 11th for 12th, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think we're a few players short. I think players need to step up to the mark. I'm expecting a big season from Anthony. I'm expecting Sancho to pull more of a weight.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a massive season, and I don't want to put pressure on his young shoulders, his Garnacho.
Yeah.
You know, we can see what he can do. I just think with that player short up front, so that horrible centre forward who's going to nick you 10, 15 ugly goals, I don't want him to beat 3 or 4 men. I want him to put in from the 6-yard box.
Danger man.
You know, you Ruud van Nistelrooy type players who'll poach you those goals. I'm not saying we'll never get, there'll be another Van Nistelrooy about, but there's a Van Nistelrooy out there somewhere. You just got to find him. But no, I think with a few players short, I believe in the manager. I just think some of these players now, I wouldn't say they've been hiding so. They've not lived to the potential. And I'm expecting big things. Because if they don't, they've got to go out the door, mate. And that's Sancho, a lot of pressure on him. We spoke out there for 2 or 3 years in COVID, in driving wind and rain.
Yeah.
And we got the man. And for me, he has 3 or 4 great spells. And he has 3 or 4 games where he's absolutely bobbins. Massive season for him.
Pressure's on him.
Massive season for Anthony. I think he'll come good. We've got to stay clear of injuries. The referee's got to be kind to Casemiro, not sending him off for stupid tackles. And I don't think we'll be too far behind. I'm not saying we're going to win the league.
No.
I'd like to be challenging still around Christmas, but I'd love us to get Kane. Is it too late? Maybe. But I'd love to get him. Gone a bit quiet on him now. It's gone a bit quiet on him. We just need. So what I don't get me now, I've been watching a bit of Sky Sports News, man, and teams signing players. We used to get them in 3 or 4 weeks after the season finished, get them bedded in. You don't want players coming in on the Friday. I seen a thing before on Sky Sports News. If any players sign, it's got to be done before the 11 a.m. on Friday. Now, who in the right minds wants to sign a player at 11 o'clock the day before the game? I just think it's stupid. He don't know his teammates. He don't know what he's having for tea. He don't know where he's living.
Yeah.
Get it done in like Fergie and David Gill did, and we got a better chance. But teams know now that they play hard to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you look at the Kane situation, now he's come up available. Who said City might not go in for the bid for him?
Season starts in 48 hours.
There you go, mate. Can you wait?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. I look at this squad. You let me know what you think out there, because I look at this squad as not strong enough to compete on everything. The reason being, I think injuries affect every team. And when the injuries come in, if we get 3 injuries, 3 decent players injured, I don't think the squad, I think it's a strong squad at the moment, but every team gets the injuries, and I think we're going to get that. And when it does hit us, I think the backup won't be strong enough. So I do think that we need 2, maybe at least 3 players to come in to sustain the challenge, because I do believe United will challenge. I think the style of footballer, especially with the Onana being in goal, the way we're going to be playing, I think we're in a great position football-wise, with Eric Ten Hag-wise, and with the head. So I think we're in a good place, but just need 2 or 3 players, and I think we might get 2 more before the end of the transfer window.
Let's wait and see, so I hope you're right, mate.
Yeah. Listen, get your comments in, press the like button, press that notification, and we'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated.
Thank you.